Hey there! Welcome to our deep dive into the transformative world of family constellations. Over the next 8 to 10 minutes, you will learn more about what this fascinating therapeutic method is, how it works, and how understanding your family roots can impact your life in remarkable ways. You may be surprised to find out how much of what we feel and who we are, emotionally and mentally, is shaped by the generations before us. And by the end of this video, you will understand how family constellations can help you break free from patterns passed down through your family that no longer serve you. So let's start by answering the big question. What exactly is family constellations? Family constellations is a therapeutic approach that sheds light on the hidden dynamics and connections within the families. It was developed by the German psychotherapist 𝘍𝘍𝘮𝘪 in the late 20th century. His work was influenced by his studies of family systems therapy, and together with this time that he was living with the Zulu tribes as a missionary in South Africa. Hellinger noticed how closely connected family members are even across generations. So from what he observed, he realized that family members, whether they are still living or have already passed away, can deeply affect how we think, act, and experience life. So think of your family tree as something alive, with emotions and experiences that flow through it. Negative emotions and experiences are often hidden and unspoken, yet they can influence who we are and how we connect with others, and basically how we live, how we deal with the challenges of life. And sometimes the emotions carried through the family are linked to unresolved pain or secrets your ancestors never had a chance to heal. So these unresolved issues can become part of the lives of their descendants, including you. So take a moment to think about your own family history. Are there any recurring patterns of behavior maybe, or emotional struggles, or circumstances of life that seem to show up again and again and again across generations? These patterns are not coincidental. Unresolved trauma, illness, guilt, or suffering can be passed down in our DNA without us even realizing it. And as of this recording, recent studies have shown that trauma can be passed down through several generations. But the good news is, these effects don't have to be permanent. They can be changed by our own life experiences and actions, especially through powerful moments of realization and mental and emotional breakthroughs. So how does it work in practice? In a family constellation session, participants will look into their family systems with the help of a facilitator and either a group of people or an online tool designed for this type of work. The person wanting to understand their issue is called the seeker, and he shares a little bit of details of that issue. It could be about relationships, emotional pain, physical illness, or basically anything. Following the facilitator's guidance, the seeker picks group members to represent their families, or avatars. What's fascinating and remarkable is that these representatives often begin to experience sensations and emotions and thoughts that mirror the real family members they are standing in for. And the seeker doesn't have to explain anything. The family dynamics seem to unfold naturally, revealing hidden entanglements and connections and truths that previously were completely unknown. So the facilitator plays a crucial role in guiding this process. So with their extensive training, facilitators help identify where the entanglement is. They look at very specific patterns, they listen very carefully to the words that are spoken, and they look at the body language. So the facilitator may notice the unresolved emotions or broken bonds or situations in the family that were never fully addressed. For example, a tragic death or war, excluded family members, infidelity, or other forms of family trauma. They may then ask the representatives to move to different positions, speak certain healing statements, or simply guide the situation as it naturally unfolds. And as the session continues, the seeker might feel a big sense of relief or understanding. they often realize that many of the problems they've been dealing with aren't really theirs. This new awareness can lead to more emotional freedom, better relationships, improved health, and, well, generally a higher quality of life. The healing doesn't affect one person, it resonates through the entire family system and can have an impact on the whole family. Now, let's turn to the science part that supports this work. It's called epigenetics. Epigenetics is the study of how your environment and behavior can change how your genes work. Even though your DNA stays the same, certain genes can be turned on or off based on the things like your surroundings, emotional experiences, and trauma. So recent research has shown that the experiences of our ancestors can leave chemical marks on their DNA. And these marks, called epigenetic tags, can be passed down through the generation. Now, that means that if an ancestor went through severe trauma, that experience is also passed down to their children and their grandchildren. Even though their descendants don't experience the trauma directly, they might still inherit a tendency towards, for example, high anxiety or inflammable anger or other emotional challenges that had to do with that trauma. So, how does this DNA science connect with the family constellations? Well, when you participate in a constellation, you're directly working on these patterns that were passed down. So by facing, acknowledging, and healing the trauma that may have happened generations ago, you can start to change the way those emotions affect you. So you can literally begin to change those chemical marks, the epigenetic tags that are carrying that trauma. It's like rewriting your emotional story. So the epigenetic benefits of family constellations are really profound. I'll give a couple of examples of what can happen when you work with this. So it could, for example, reduce stress. Stress that has been passed down through generation often manifests as something chronic anxiety or tension. And so resolving family issues at the root can help lessen this stress in your life today. It could also enhance emotional resilience. You'll be better equipped to handle the ups and downs of life. Or it could break negative cycles. So by resolving the patterns that have been passed down, you ensure that they are not carried forward to your children and grandchildren. And it can improve your physical state. So mental and emotional well-being are closely tied to physical health. And studies have shown that reducing stress and emotional burdens can contribute to a healthier life. So you can think of your family as a tree and you as one of its many branches. So when the roots of the tree are strong and deep and healthy, the branches can grow tall and the leaves can flourish. But when the roots are tangled or diseased, the tree obviously struggles. So family constellations allows you to strengthen those roots and create a foundation that allows you to thrive. Let me give a real life example of a client whose name I changed for privacy purposes, of course. The client is a woman named Sarah, who has always struggled with chronic anxiety. She can't quite figure out where it's coming from. Her life seems stable and she's happy, yet that anxiety follows her everywhere. Now, to her knowledge, she hasn't had any experiences that can explain it, and she has no clue where it's coming from. So during a family constellation session, Sarah discovers that when her grandmother had fled her homeland during a war, she was carrying deep fear and trauma, which makes sense. This trauma was, however, never resolved, and now, 2 generations later, Sarah was still carrying that in her body and could feel it. The anxiety she felt wasn't entirely hers. It was linked to her grandmother's unresolved fear. So as Sarah acknowledged this and I guided the constellation towards a resolution, she suddenly felt her anxiety shift. It is as if a burden lifted her from her shoulders. In Sarah's case, understanding the root of her anxiety through family constellations gave her that immediate relief. It set her free from patterns of suffering that she inherited without even realizing it. Here's another story of a transformation. So Michael, also not his real name, a man who had been struggling with feelings of unworthiness, imposter syndrome, and fear of failure for as long as he could remember. So through family constellations, Michael learned that these feelings were rooted in his family's past. His grandfather had felt a deep shame after what his religious group considered a failure, and that emotion had been passed down. It was influencing Michael's life and his relationships. It was like he was reliving his grandfather's shame without knowing it. So during his session, Michael clearly saw the pattern, and he realized the shame wasn't his to carry. And simply knowing that gave him a really big sense of relief. Now, over time, Michael started following new opportunities with confidence. He no longer felt failure like before. And his transformation shows how powerful family constellations can be in healing these deep emotional wounds. Now, if you're curious about family constellations and want to explore this method, you can get started by first finding a qualified facilitator. Look for a facilitator with training and experience. And then somebody who can help you guide through the process and create a safe environment for you to explore. Then you can either attend a group session or book one-on-one sessions. Both types are amazing. If you're looking for a personalized experience, one-on-one sessions with a facilitator can provide deep insight into your specific family dynamics. In a group, you can gain insights into your own family system by observing and participating in the experiences of others. And from there, you continue to work. Healing from anything is always a journey, not a one-time event. Once the seed is planted, so to say, it's important to continue reflecting on the insights gained from this family constellations and to incorporate them, embed them into your daily life. That's how you grow the tree from the seed. So many people choose to attend multiple sessions over time to continue their healing process. In conclusion, family constellations is a powerful way to explore your family history and to bring about healing and change. By understanding and healing your roots, you can rewrite your story and create a better path for yourself and for future generations. You will be stepping onto a path that leads you back to your roots, allowing you to walk forward with greater understanding, freedom, and empowerment. Each step brings you closer to a life that is fully your own, unburdened by the unresolved traumas and emotions of the past. And the benefits go way beyond emotional and mental well-being. Like I said, they can even affect your genetic makeup. If you're ready to explore your family roots and discover the healing potential within, I invite you to reach out. Get in touch to begin your journey with family constellations and take the first step towards transforming your life. Thank you for watching. If you found this video insightful, please like, share, and subscribe for more content on healing, wellness, and growth.